About 2 years ago, Parker Schnabel decided to take a big risk on a promise he made to himself. A $15 million one in Dominion Creek. This is in the endless wilderness of Klondike, where people's fortunes can make or break in an instant with a single shovel's turn. For this particular bet, something extremely important was at risk, and the auxiliary dangers were even greater. I'm going to say that the tough ground of the Klondike was waiting for a brave young miner. Let's begin the story. The story starts at a tough place called the Money Pit, which was much bigger than their earlier tasks on the Indian River. The job was hard, the problems were big, and the costs had gone up so much more than before. Parker, with his big ideas, was moving at full speed because he wanted to win. This situation was going to cost him a lot of money. There was a high chance it might make him a real Klondike king. On the other hand, it might also cause him to think about his losses. I think that's quite a gamble. The pressure was noticeable. Parker's projects were at risk then because a big debt had come during prosperity. Going from having a full bank account to facing the worries of mining makes it clear how close success is in a hard place like the Klondike. The worry about running out of money troubles everyone involved. I don't think I could stomach such a risk. Parker Schnabel's brave decision to buy the Dominion Creek claim was like a big gamble with nature. It's exciting and risky at the same time. It's a high-stakes game. The $15 million is just a small bit of money, and as spring comes along, it becomes very high spending. It's a race against time and money, and Parker realized that time was running out. He had to finish it fast if he wanted to achieve his goal. The Dominion Creek claim was expected to be a large gold deposit, maybe giving 80,000 gold ounces or even more. That could be over $160 million in wealth. The big money was a strong magnet that made Parker want to get into the very core of the bet. But, they say, having big rewards also means facing even bigger dangers. I think he's quite courageous and we should be inspired by his risk-taking. By the third week of the season, Parker had a big turning point to deal with. The price of reducing this pay point was very high. It was like spending too much money that could break his goals. Thousands of dollars were going into the dirt, but no gold was coming out. This place was not making money for anyone. The challenges were daunting. A big step was reaching the bedrock, but melting was an even bigger challenge that they had to face. 1 foot a week for 10 weeks in all, the time was running down fast, and the money issues got worse. It got really infuriating as time passed because the amount of gold underground was not helpful when there were money problems. For Parker Schnabel, it was a big moment to succeed or fail. The Dominion Creek claim could be a source of gold, but it was also tough to manage money there. The hopes for a big empire in Klondike were in danger, while the worries about money problems kept growing. Parker's brave effort may turn out to be the next winning story in Klondike territory, but it might also end up being a warning about money lost in the rough place outside. The future of Parker's big $15 million bet in the center of Dominion Creek won't be known until later. I think he might make it. As time passed, Parker Schnabel had a big problem to solve. He thought the answer could be in the past, among the old things left by miners from the Klondike Gold Rush of 1896. These early explorers, with not-so-good digging tools, had left behind gold that could be worth a lot. This made it a possible treasure chest for Parker to check out. The plan was easy and well thought out. Parker wanted to get gold from the untouched waste near Gold Run Creek. His hope came from the idea that Gold Run Creek, famous for its gold during the gold rush, would bring in quick cash. The chance of finding gold in these leftover rocks was Parker's sign of hope, a way to earn money without doing a lot of hard work from mining. Parker decided to check if this plan worked by running a test of leftovers through a small tumbler. I believe testing is quite necessary before taking any large risks. Each pail of waste rocks meant the hope of locating gold that had been hidden for more than 10 years. As the action started, everyone could feel the energy. The buckets from old times were worked on with excitement. They moved fast through the small drum machine because they needed to find gold fast. The urgent task was to do so before a big money problem happened. Parker and his team added a little humor to the serious feeling. They talked about drinking and aging on a lighter note that made everyone feel like they were part of a team. The fun conversation made the already serious situation feel lighter. The last bit of the task was filled with guessing and easy bets. The gold in the waste was the best thing to get, and people thought it might be anywhere from 190 to 240 milligrams. When they measured the stuff, it felt heavy. Then the stress got really high and excitement was at its maximum. I myself am quite anxious to know the result. The discovery of 226 milligrams of gold was a source of comfort and happiness. Parker's bet on the old waste rock had been successful, even though it did not reach the perfect 300 milligrams. In the world of digging, beggars can't be picky, and the gold pulled out was a way to keep Parker's work alive. The whole deal happened like a big, important game, with Parker's business luck at risk. It was a sign that success can come by looking back on the past. As Parker Schnabel worked through the problems with the Dominion Creek claim, a question came up. Could these old tailings be the trick to changing his $15 million chance to a Klondike gold digger? The next step was to do sluicing, a key action in taking gold from the ground, but the outcomes were very far from being good. Parker needed to test a small amount that would give at least 155 milligrams of gold, but the result was much lower, only 54 milligrams. This left him disappointed. The anger was clear in Parker's voice. He thought it wasn't good. Talking about old beggy and the trouble it causes suggests there
5 days. To optimize their gold extraction process, Mitch intends to drag the sluice fur onto a big area and install the giant stacker. Before Parker returns from Alaska, the crew is scrambling to set up the sluice for running pay dirt. The 120-foot super stacker is connected and successfully reaches the pre-wash. Parker's crew begins running pay soil through the wash plants and is pleased with the results. Parker gives the crew an update on his Alaska venture, where they're ready to strip and build a plant pad. Parker is one step closer to mining out the 90-acre airfield, now that both wash units are operational. However, there are certain drawbacks, such as a conveyor problem and a blown-out engine. Despite these difficulties, Parker's other wash plant, Big Red, has been sluicing simple street-cut pay all week, yielding a gold haul worth more than $290,000. The team is ecstatic about surpassing the previous year's ounce count and plans to keep pushing forward. Tony Beets and his squad are under pressure to have a record-breaking season. Their shaker deck, on the other hand, shuts down twice, producing dissatisfaction. They are unable to locate a 2-foot stretch of C-channel that has been broken off the wash plant, making their operation difficult. Despite the setbacks, they improvise by welding the C-channel back in place to keep the material going. Finally, they may begin processing the tailings and hope to see their efforts rewarded by the discovery of more gold. Meanwhile, Parker Schnabel is upbeat about the season's early start and the possibility of covering their expenses with the gold they uncover. As the Beets family weighs their gold for the week, Monica returns with their granddaughter, bringing some joy amidst the challenges. On Gold Rush, Tony Beets, Parker Schnabel, and others discuss their best gold finds. Tony says that they made almost $310,000 from the last of the old-timer tailings. Parker also claims that they discovered gold worth more than $145,000 in just a few days. The overall amount of gold mined for the week is nearly $460,000, which is more than double the amount mined at the same time last year. They are overjoyed with the results and anticipate making even more money in gold in the future. In another section, Fred Lewis and Brandon Clayton collaborate to boost their output by pooling their resources and talents. They feel that by working together, they can significantly improve production while also maximizing their earnings. Tony Beets and his crew are ecstatic about their significant gold discovery, which include Fred's largest gold haul to date and the potential to double their productivity. Tony's efforts, however, are thwarted by frozen ground and a massive chunk of frost obstructing the conveyor belt, resulting in significant delay and gold loss. Despite these setbacks, Tony is determined to get his season back on track with the assistance of the 80 pup and to achieve his gold ambitions. Tony supervises the procedure and urges his team not to step on the mats because any downtime costs money. Despite some lost gold and downtime, the Beets have discovered over $328,000 in gold, making their season total to nearly $2.3 million. Parker Schnabel, on the other hand, is struggling to meet his goal of 2,000 ounces of gold and is concerned about sending his staff home with insufficient gold. He has to find the high-grade pay layer before the winter, but he is still 800 ounces short. Troy Taylor, the landowner, makes Rick an unexpected offer to sell the property for a down payment of 150 ounces of gold. Rick should consider the offer because he has already spent a lot of money on equipment and is struggling to make a profit. Rick hires Kyle Lawson, a former iron worker, to run both wash facilities by himself in order to enhance output. Despite his nervousness, Kyle accepts the challenge and effectively controls the facility. They eagerly await the discovery of gold in the box, thinking that this inventive approach will assist them in reaching their aim. On Gold Rush, Tony Beets, Parker Schnabel, and others make some remarkable gold discoveries. Tony Beets finds 219.8 ounces of gold from Monster Red and 95 ounces from Rocky, totaling almost $500,000 in gold. Parker Schnabel receives his largest gold weigh yet from